Congratulations to PSG. A penalty shootout triumph in the Champions League to retain their European crown. Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Welcome to another video. Today's video is going to centre around the Champions League final that just played out between PSG and Arsenal in Budapest. And it is a triumph once again for Luis Enrique and PSG. PSG wait years and years and years and years and years for one UCL title, and in 2 years, Luis Enrique has delivered 2 in consecutive seasons. Congratulations to them. An intense final, a hard-worked final. Maybe in Arsenal fans' eyes, maybe slightly controversial, but I don't really see it that way, but we'll discuss that later on in the video. But a final nonetheless that ended in a penalty shootout in which Gabriel was the man who missed the deciding penalty. That meant that PSG are returning to France with some extra luggage in the form of this UCL trophy. We're going to be talking about the final. We're going to be talking about PSG and Arsenal, the performances, the display, and the result, of course, and what it means going forward. Before we go any further in discussing all of that and much more, I would like to remind you all, please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both things are always and forever greatly appreciated. And of course, I encourage each and every single one of you to get involved in the comment section down below. Use and abuse that section, people, and talk to me on this big story. PSG are the champions of Europe yet again. Look, in my personal opinion, football was saved today by PSG. Football was absolutely saved today by PSG. I could not bear a summer in which Arsenal not only have won their first Champions League title, but also to have done the double in the same season, the Premier League and the Champions League. I just could not bear to live in that world. So PSG, fans, coaches, board, manager, players, whoever is associated with that club, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now on to the game. The game was not exactly the best. Wasn't exactly the best final that you're ever going to see in your life. I think on the ball, it was poor. I think we were expecting a lot more from PSG than we were Arsenal on the ball. But even then, Arsenal still didn't really do a lot with it. There was a lot of good work off the ball, though, from both teams. Arsenal especially were magnificent for the vast majority of the first 90 minutes, shall we say. And then in the final 20-25 minutes or so, final half an hour, PSG really started to grow more into the game. They get the penalty. The only mistake of his game was Mascara. Gives away a penalty. And Dembele finishes the penalty from 12 yards. And from there, look, it could have been anybody's game, really. PSG had a number of opportunities, not really clear-cut ones, but at the same time, ones that either did cause a little bit of concern for David Raya and the Arsenal defence. And, you know, going the other way, there were 1 or 2 times where Arsenal could have gone in if the final ball was better or if the run was being made better or something along them lines. But like I say, on the ball, it wasn't great from either side, to be honest with you. It wasn't really a great game of football, truth be told. And maybe you can put that down to how good Arsenal were off the ball and their defensive output. Maybe you could put that down to PSG being poor. Or maybe just put that down to a little bit of both, or maybe a bit of everything. A bit of everything. PSG poor, Arsenal being poor. Maybe, I don't know, it wasn't exactly the greatest game, truth be told. But PSG will not care because at the end of the day, they ran out the winners. I thought Arsenal were very good, like I say, for the opening hour or so of the game. You know, they neutralised PSG for the most part. They got the early goal through Kai Havertz. A mistake from the PSG defenders allows Kai Havertz to run through on goal, and he smashes it into the back of the net. A well-taken goal by Kai Havertz, someone who I didn't think would be starting. If you were there on my live stream on Friday night, you'll know that I did not have Kai Havertz starting this game. I had Victor Gyökeres starting this game. Well, I was proven wrong because obviously that happened. Kai Havertz takes his goal really well, and from there, Arsenal then sink into shape. as you'd expect. They allow PSG to have the ball. They stand strong. They stand disciplined. PSG are struggling to get their passing and move game going. They're struggling to have that fluidity, that flexibility in the game. And that goes down to credit from Arsenal. But I also think PSG were not exactly fully at the races for the most part of the game. One or two moments in the game did occur because obviously PSG's quality will always mean they get moments, even if they do play particularly poorly. But nothing really, again, clear-cut in terms of saves from David Raya or very good saves from David Raya. All of them that were straight at him were fairly comfortable. Second half, PSG try and go more into the game. Arsenal are sinking deeper and deeper, as you'd expect. Kai Havertz is dropping into that midfield role. It's like a 5-5-0 formation. And eventually, PSG's pressure earns them a penalty. Definite Stonewall penalty, no doubt about it. Mascara with his only mistake of the game. It's hard on the guy. It's unfortunate on the guy, but it is genuinely a penalty. I'm a little bit surprised it wasn't a double yellow card, to be perfectly honest with you, having already been booked earlier in the game for time wasting. So I'm a little bit surprised it wasn't a double yellow, but I think, again, referee managed the occasion, managed the final rather than the actual maybe rule of the game. I don't know. I think it's a little bit debatable as to whether or not it is or isn't a yellow card, to be perfectly honest, but he survives. PSG scored the penalty. Dembele with the spot kick. And I didn't think Dembele had a great game, in all honesty. Dembele was pretty poor, to be honest with you. Even in the second half, when he was drifting more out wide towards the right-hand side, he didn't really have the greatest of game from your Ballon d'Or winner. Still manages to score when it matters, but he was pretty poor otherwise. Kvaratskhelia in the second half started to get more and more on the ball, but you could tell that as the second half was dwindling, so was he. I think he hit the post, didn't he? If I remember correctly, he hit the post after a breakaway. Bradley Barcola, who came on for him, also had a glorious opportunity in the dying stages of the opening 90 minutes to put the game to bed. Decent stop from... I can't remember. Was it a decent stop from David Raya or puts it wide? Either way, he missed. I can't remember now off the top of my head. Either way, he missed, and the game went into extra time. Extra time comes, and the only real moment of extra time in what was a game that was clearly both teams that were dwindling in terms of energy. Even the subs didn't really make that much of an impact or that much of a change on the game. The only real moment to really talk about from extra time was the somewhat slightly controversial penalty that Arsenal were adamant that they should have received. Declan Rice in particular was very much on the side of it should have been a penalty to Arsenal for an alleged foul against Noni Madueke. He even got booked for his complaints and arguments against the referee. For me, it's not a penalty. It's not a penalty. It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other, and with the way that Madueke is made of paper, of course he's going to be flattened by the guy, especially when he decides to underhook his arm anyway. So I think he's trying to look for the penalty. He's trying to be clever with it. But I think the referee and the VAR really did see through the penalty as not being a penalty. And I think the right call was made. I think Noni Madueke is looking for it. I think he tries to underhook the arm to try and make the defender lean more on him, because he knows he's stronger. He knows that he's obviously got more weight on him. So, of course, he's going to try that, get the weight, get the foul, go down in the area, get the spot kick. But the referee saw through it. The VAR saw through it. The linesman saw through it. No penalty given. And I think that was the right call if we're being honest with ourselves. Penalty kicks then occur. PSG get the advantage when Eberechi Eze misses the second spot kick for Arsenal, but Nuno Mendes then misses for PSG, so it's as you were. Perfect penalties again, right the way through till the very last one, the sudden death one from, of all people, Gabriel. Now, if that was a corner in the box rather than a penalty, you probably would suspect he would score with his head. Fortunately, he didn't use his head here, and he used his left foot instead, and he blazed it over the bar. And PSG are your Champions League winners. Deserved for PSG. Look, I know it's kind of hard done by on Arsenal to an extent because defensively they were solid, they were disciplined, and there was a large part of their game that did stop PSG from playing their natural game, their normal rhythm. But I think experience showed out here. I think it was experience that showed out for PSG. They didn't panic. They didn't crumble. They just played their natural game and they thought, right, well, we're not playing very well, but it's going to click. It's going to click. It's going to click. And that was what they were going through the entirety of the game. There were one or two moments where it looked like, it might have just done it at the right moment, at the right time. But David Raya being David Raya and the PSG attackers missing chances. For a combination of that, it kept Arsenal in the game to an extent, but also there were one or two moments where, it was a bit nervy for PSG back there defensively, but they managed to get the job done nonetheless to obviously keep the score either at 1-0 at the time for them to be in it or at 1-1 the later the game wore on. But yes, experience shone through. Keeping calm under pressure, the penalties, shootout, that's massive for PSG going forward. Who honestly can stop this PSG team? And they're only going to get stronger in the summer as well. If Luis Enrique is going to genuinely stay, which it looks like he will be, and he'll be staying and extending his contract, it looks like, they're only going to get stronger. There's already talk about, obviously, Yan Diomande. There's potential of Julian Alvarez coming in as well. And I think that does need to be addressed because this PSG team has been the same for a couple of years now. So I think a bit of a refresh in a couple of areas might be on the cards for PSG. And I think certainly in the attacking front as well. Like I say, Ousmane Dembele today I've not been impressed with him for most of this season. But he was particularly poor today. Kvaratskhelia didn't have his best game, but he at least showed something. He at least showed that he wanted to go and do something. So I do think a bit of freshening up in that forward line won't go amiss for PSG, and it might make them even stronger for next season if that is entirely possible. But yes, congratulations to Luis Enrique and his PSG side. As for Arsenal, look, commiserations to them. They worked really hard off the ball. Again, not amazing. Even their set pieces, the set pieces weren't there. I think they only had one or two. They had a couple of free kicks, and I think they only had one corner. One corner in the first half, which wasn't even taken because they decided to take too long with it. The referee got annoyed with them time wasting and taking their time with set pieces, so he decided to blow for the half-time whistle, which I thought was amusing. But no. Hard on Arsenal? Sure. Hard on them. But at the same time, just... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it is about. I can understand why a lot of Arsenal fans would be frustrated, but I can also understand why a lot of Arsenal fans would be like, you know what, we went toe-to-toe with the best team in Europe, best team in the world, and we came up short on penalties. I can understand why you take a lot of pride from that. But I don't know. I just think like maybe there could have been more there. Maybe there could have been a bit more in certain parts of the game where you just thought, just run that risk a little bit. Go for it. Go for the kill. Go and smell some blood or something along those lines. Something along those. I don't know. Maybe something like that. Maybe something more to the effect of pride, and you know what, fair play, PSG were just slightly better than us on the day. They just had that bit more experience that maybe Arsenal can take forward with them into next season. Maybe that experience will maybe be the difference maker next time around than it would be this year. But at the end of the day, PSG got the job done when it mattered most. That's what the best teams do, and that is exactly who and what PSG are right now. The best team in Europe, the best team in the world, PSG, are your Champions League winners for the year 2026. Once again, I will say, from a Liverpool fan's point of view, that this has been an absolutely wonderful day. This has been a wonderful day. Arne Slot gets sacked. PSG win the Champions League. Happy days, my friends. Happy days. I didn't think there'd be too many of these, but enjoy it while it lasts. But from being neutral and from being real, I'll say that, yeah, commiserations, but at the same time, PSG, best team in Europe. And there you have it. Those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you call it, are about this guy. I want to know what you guys are thinking and feeling, so let me know in the comment section down below what you made of PSG winning the Champions League, beating Arsenal in penalties this evening. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling down there. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way out if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things are always and forever greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I'll see and speak to you all again soon in another video, or live stream, or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll speak to you all again very, very soon.